So I've just experienced things from 1989, and saying that I'm confused would be the understatement of the year. So I wasn't planning on doing this video, I just wanted to watch things for fun because Shock and Schlock bullied me into doing so.
This company puts out the cheapest crap I've ever seen.
And while I was watching it, other than experiencing extreme confusion, I thought to myself, everybody needs to do the same thing as I did. I understand now why Herschel keeps bullying people into watching this piece of shit.
You damn bastard!
Not only is it incompetent in every field of filmmaking, but the way the characters act and talk makes me believe that whoever wrote this wasn't from planet Earth. Who puts a coat in a freezer?
Throw this in the freezer.
Who makes a sandwich out of 2 pieces of bread and that's it, and then tells the other characters that it's good because he used to work in a kitchen? All you did was put 1 piece of bread on top of another. That's not a sandwich. The ending title, saying that you have just experienced things, is correct. You're not watching things, you are living an experience that you should be glad to be living, because prior to 1989, no human beings could live with the privilege of existing at the same time as things. And I think it just makes the world a better place. Kind of like the teachings of Jesus. This is where you discovered that my whole channel was just a plan to recruit you into Christianity.
I know that there's whiskey or rum around here somewhere.
So this is usually the part in my videos where I, tell you the synopsis, quickly explain the plot of the film I'm talking about. I'm not doing that today. Why? Because I'm not sure I understood. At the end of the film, I was like, you know what? Even if I watch this movie 50 times, I won't get anything. This is like hieroglyphics. You need years and years of studies, multiple PhDs, to understand what this piece of shit is about.
How do you get paper children?
Paper children?
Yeah, how you get them? You fuck a bag, lady.
All I can tell you is that from the beginning, from the first frame, this is an insane piece of media. A man just walks into a room and there's this woman wearing a devil mask and he's like, I want you to have my baby. And he repeats that, and then she goes to, take a shower before fucking, and he's like, no shower, I want you to have my baby. And then the lady takes out a baby that's actually a monster, which will come back later in the film, and then he wakes up. And then he goes see his wife that's pregnant, and then we get a title card. But not the first title card. The title Things is very hard to remember. We need to see it twice.
No way am I gonna let the creatures eat you alive.
And then after the credits, we meet 2 guys who come out of a car, and it's asshole with a mullet and asshole without the mullet. And they enter a random house, and then it's cut with footage of Amber Lynn, who, by the way, is in this film. What is she doing? Well, she's a news anchor. What's the point of her scenes? There are none. She only tells the news. Well, at least she reads it. And instead of, putting the script under the lens so it could look like she actually knows the script, they put it to her left. Or her right. So she's reading this like that the entire film, and you'll see her a lot, because she just randomly pops out. What does she have to do with the rest of the movie? Absolutely nothing. Then mulleted asshole and no mullet asshole just get in the house, and then they start talking, and they go get a beer because it's a Canadian production. We're all alcoholics, and we've created this. which is probably the best piece of Canadian culture ever, and they find a tape recorder, again, in the fridge or the freezer? Why? And they just start playing a tape, and then it's a reference to Evil Dead, and the character even is like, oh, this is like that weird movie you like. You know, the movie where weird things happen? Which is the best synopsis for Evil Dead ever. And then he puts his coat into the fridge. But before that, the guy from the beginning that dreamt about fucking a demon stops, takes the tape recorder away, and then we don't see him for a while. And then they watch TV, and then it's like a faux snuff film. And then I'm after the faux snuff film on TV, because I guess a reference to Videodrome, I don't fucking know, man. Doug, the guy from the beginning, shows up again. But before that, we get background information about Doug, who, by the way, Doug is just a guy named Doug, but somehow he has an original painting of a Salvador Dali piece that apparently was set on fire, but he has it. It's never referenced again. He just has it. And then he goes down, makes his great sandwiches, which again are 2 pieces of bread on top of another. Still better than 2 pieces of bread with butter on them, but you know, I mean, it's not a sandwich. There's nothing in between. It's just bread. It's just bread.
For something you'd conjure up, you did a pretty good job.
And then finally, something happens. The wife dies because there's like an alien scene where paper mache ants just get out of her belly and try to murder people. And they kind of do, but Fred just disappears, and then Doug is like, oh, he was sent into the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension. And then Mullet Asshole is like, he spontaneously combusted. And then Doug retorts, that doesn't make any sense. You just told the guy that he was sent to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension, but spontaneous combustion? That's out of the question? That's too weird. What are you on, man? Doug, why do you have a Salvador Dali painting in your house that looks like shit?
He's dead. I know he's dead.
And, you know, after his wife died, you know, Doug is very emotional, and then we learn that she got pregnant from a doctor that experimented on something new to make her pregnant, and that failed because paper mache ants are getting out of her. And we just see one, but somehow there's like 30 in the film, so those mutant ants, I guess, reproduce very quickly. So Fred, not Mullet Asshole, just disappeared. The 2 get drunk, and we learn they're brothers, but they have this weird relationship where they either, like, it's a very bipolar, you know, they either joke around and try to survive together, or just give each other shit. Like, there's a scene where Mullet Asshole accidentally knocks him out with a hammer, and he feels bad about it because he just knocked out his brother. And then as soon as he tries to pick him up, he's like, you fat asshole, and then he just drops him back on the floor.
Oh, you heavy thug. Put you back down, you're so heavy.
So they go on the hunt for the ants, and then one of them bites off Doug's finger, and that kills him, which leaves us with the worst character of the film, Mullet. And then the doctor shows up, and then the doctor is like, you've murdered all these people. And the doctor really likes to pick up the blood and the guts and just remind Mullet that it's blood and guts. And then the movie goes somewhere. I don't want to spoil it. You should watch it. But like, holy fuck. I've never been this tired after a review.
They're eating me! Get me the fuck out of here! Done! Done!
So, do I recommend things? Yes, go watch it right now. It's free on Tubi in Canada. Again, not sponsored. It's worth every minute. Please do yourself a favor. Go watch a film that was obviously made by an alien that puts his coats into the freezer. I'm still not over that one.